Hey everyone, have you ever wondered if there's a country that could become the next China? Well, in today's video, we're diving into the question, is Vietnam the next China? So buckle up, because this roller coaster of an economic journey is about to take off. Vietnam, a beautiful Southeast Asian country with a population of around 100 million, has caught the world's attention with its rapid economic growth, manufacturing prowess, and young labor force. But can it really follow in China's giant footsteps? Let's find out. Once upon a time, in the not-so-distant past, Vietnam was primarily an agricultural country, but today, it's transforming into a manufacturing powerhouse. This metamorphosis began in the late 1980s when Vietnam introduced its Doi Moi, meaning renovation, economic reforms. These reforms opened up the Vietnamese economy to the world and set the stage for a remarkable growth story. Vietnam has been experiencing impressive economic growth for the past 3 decades, with an average GDP growth rate of around 6%. In recent years, it's even surpassed China's GDP growth rate. But what's driving this phenomenal growth? Let's dig a little deeper. Once known for its rice paddies, Vietnam has become a global manufacturing hub. Major companies like Samsung, Intel, and Nike have set up shop here, attracted by low labor costs, abundant natural resources, and a business-friendly environment. The result? Vietnam's manufacturing sector now accounts for 25% of its GDP. But how did Vietnam manage to attract these major companies? Let's take a closer look at the factors that have contributed to this success. One of Vietnam's key advantages is its young and growing labor force. With a median age of just 32 years, Vietnam's workforce is not only youthful but also well-educated and tech-savvy. This provides the country with a competitive edge over its aging neighbors and offers a pool of talent that companies can tap into. The Vietnamese government has also invested heavily in education and training programs, ensuring that the workforce is equipped with the skills needed for a rapidly evolving global economy. Vietnam's strategic location in Southeast Asia places it at the heart of the world's most dynamic economic region. With easy access to major markets like China, India, and the ASEAN countries, Vietnam is perfectly positioned to capitalize on the growing trade and investment opportunities in the region. Vietnam has also been quick to establish trade agreements with countries around the world, further boosting its attractiveness as a manufacturing hub. But let's not get carried away just yet. Vietnam faces its own set of challenges, including poor infrastructure, environmental degradation, and income inequality. To become the next China, Vietnam will need to tackle these issues head-on. The government has been making efforts to improve infrastructure, with plans to invest billions of dollars in roads, ports, and airports. However, progress has been slow, and much more needs to be done to ensure that Vietnam's infrastructure can support its ambitious growth plans. Environmental issues, such as air and water pollution, are also a growing concern. As Vietnam continues to industrialize, it will need to strike a balance between economic growth and environmental sustainability. Finally, income inequality remains a pressing issue in the country. While Vietnam's overall poverty rate has declined, the gap between the rich and the poor has widened. Addressing this issue will be crucial for maintaining social stability and ensuring that the benefits of economic growth are shared by all. To their credit, Vietnamese policymakers have been proactive in attracting foreign investment. They've introduced tax incentives, streamlined regulations, and created special economic zones to lure global companies. These pro-investment policies have been instrumental in driving Vietnam's growth story. However, there's still room for improvement. Corruption and bureaucratic red tape continue to plague the business environment in Vietnam, making it difficult for some companies to navigate the system. Tackling these challenges will be key to maintaining investor confidence and sustaining growth in the long term. The final piece of the puzzle is innovation. While Vietnam has made great strides in manufacturing, it's now focusing on nurturing homegrown innovation. With a booming startup scene and a growing emphasis on research and development, Vietnam is well on its way to becoming an innovation powerhouse. The government has launched initiatives to support startups and foster an innovation-driven economy. This includes setting up innovation centers, providing financial support, and encouraging collaboration between universities and businesses. At the same time, multinational companies are also investing in research and development facilities in Vietnam, helping to build a culture of innovation and technology. Now that we've covered the key factors, let's take a moment to reflect. Can Vietnam truly become the next China? Well, I'm not an economist with a crystal ball, but I'm pretty sure Vietnam doesn't want to be the next China. It wants to be the first Vietnam. Despite its rapid industrialization, agriculture still plays a significant role in Vietnam's economy. The country is a major exporter of rice, coffee, cashews, and seafood, which contribute to its trade surplus and foreign exchange earnings. The Vietnamese government has been investing in agricultural modernization and promoting sustainable farming practices. As the global demand for high-quality, traceable food products continues to grow, Vietnam has an opportunity to capitalize on its agricultural strengths and diversify its economy. Urbanization is another major trend shaping Vietnam's future. As more people move to cities in search of better economic opportunities, the demand for housing, infrastructure, and public services is skyrocketing. To accommodate this growth, the Vietnamese government has been investing heavily in urban development projects, including affordable housing, public transportation, and smart city initiatives. These investments not only create jobs, but also contribute to the overall quality of life in urban areas. However, as we mentioned earlier, infrastructure development has been slow, and more needs to be done to keep up with the pace of urbanization. Vietnam has also made significant strides in embracing the digital economy. With high levels of internet penetration and a fast-growing e-commerce sector, the country is well positioned to benefit from the global shift towards online shopping and digital services. The Vietnamese government has been actively supporting the growth of the digital economy through various initiatives, such as promoting digital literacy, investing in broadband infrastructure, and establishing a legal framework for e-commerce and digital payments. This digital transformation presents enormous opportunities for Vietnamese businesses and entrepreneurs, as well as global investors looking to tap into the country's tech-savvy population. Tourism is another area where Vietnam has significant potential. Blessed with stunning natural landscapes, a rich cultural heritage, and a vibrant food scene, the country has all the ingredients to become a top tourist destination. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, Vietnam's tourism industry was experiencing rapid growth, with international arrivals more than doubling between 2015 and 2019. As the world recovers from the pandemic and international travel resumes, Vietnam will need to invest in its tourism infrastructure and marketing efforts to attract visitors and boost its tourism revenues. As Vietnam's economy continues to grow, so does its demand for energy. To meet this demand while also addressing environmental concerns, the country has been investing in renewable energy projects such as wind, solar, and hydropower. Vietnam's government has set ambitious targets for renewable energy production and has introduced policies to attract investment in this sector. By transitioning to cleaner sources of energy, Vietnam can reduce its dependence on fossil fuels, improve its energy security, and contribute to global efforts to combat climate change. What do you think? Considering Vietnam's rapid economic growth, manufacturing capabilities, young labor force, geopolitical advantage, and innovation potential, does it have what it takes to follow in China's footsteps? Let us know in the comments below. Look at the success story of VinFast, a Vietnamese automobile manufacturer. It went from being a startup to launching its first electric vehicle within just a few years. This kind of ambition and drive is emblematic of Vietnam's potential. Another example is Viettel Group, a Vietnamese telecommunications company that has expanded its operations to several countries in Asia, Africa, and the Americas. This demonstrates Vietnam's growing global presence and its ability to compete with established players in the international market. So, is Vietnam the next China? Maybe not, but it's certainly on the path to becoming an economic powerhouse in its own right. The real question is, are you ready for the rise of Vietnam? If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on the latest economic trends and insights, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Also, share your thoughts on Vietnam's potential in the comments section. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep laughing.